You guys already know this is the main one tapping in all the way from H-Town, Houston, Texas. I'm here with my boy T.A.G.
T.A.G.
T.A.G sucks.
T.A.G, very nice, very evil.
T.A.G's gonna kill you.
That's T.A.G shit.
Whose house? T.A.G's house, baby.
The only thing we're gonna do is take over, baby.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
What it is, what it was, and what it do, T.A.G Nation. It's your favorite duo, your favorite best frenemies. You got myself, ScooterRay, aka Scoot Kingston, Scoot Woods. And then you got that handsome gentleman, you know, since you know our normal hot throb isn't here, you know, Lip Dizzle got to hold it down. So we got this handsome gentleman to my right, the current reigning and defending technical predictions champ, Lip Dizzle.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, good sir?
I mean, first and foremost, it always puts a smile on my face when I see old Mr. Angle. They give it a nice little
right
there, man.
Right,
something about it.
Right. And then you know, even with him hitting that tag sucks. It's like he put some, you know what I'm saying? Like he put some like oomph in it. Yes. So
yeah, he definitely did. But as far as how I'm feeling, man, I'm annoyed and I'm hopeful at the same time.
And you know what? I'm glad I did not make a video immediately after the recent releases happened, because I think those were feelings that I had to kind of quote unquote deal with, because yes, it came from a place of annoyance, but like you just said, hopeful. And since we last recorded, the wrestling world has been in shock. So just to run it down, Tongaloa was released. JC Mateo was released. So there's two members of the MFTs released. So it's only Solo, Tamatonga, and Talatonga remain. So I don't know how this is about to work out. But the shocking thing that happened was when I got a notification, I got a text message at the same time, and it said WWE stars Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston has been released. And I had to read that because I was like, that didn't just say what I thought it said. Not Kofi Kingston, who's been there 19 years holding it down. Not Xavier Woods, who's been holding this company down. But yeah, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston negotiated their release. Now, the full particulars hasn't necessarily been fully release, but many people are saying it's what TKO is doing, and pretty much they're trying to get people to renegotiate their contracts and take pay cuts and whatever. And Kingston and Woods stood on business and was like, nah, big dogs, you're not about to shortchange us, you're not about to downplay us. So they chose to walk. And I couldn't do nothing but commend that.
1,000%, 1,000% Now we didn't get into a lot of stuff in the pre-production, but I don't know if you were gonna go over TKO's salary specifics. Okay. I'm not going to dive fully into that because I'll reserve some of my comments for that. But specifically when it comes to the negotiations, or rather renegotiations of talent, I believe that to be 100% true. I believe that that's the reason that they decided not to go with that deal and decided to just have their contracts released, specifically also because of Kofi's comments within his post-release statement that him and Woods both made, because there was some cryptic stuff. I mean, it was more outright too, but I mean, you can also say it's cryptic because it wasn't necessarily stating, hey, this is why we left. It was just saying, hey, you know your worth, for lack of a better term. And my issue primarily with this, and I'm going to just half part of what I'm going to say, because the other half I'm going to save for my vitriol for the other stuff with TKO. But the fact that, you know, and I think this is a general consensus with the superstars that are also under contract right now, because now it feels like, even aside from the fact of, hey, we thought they were going to be WWE lifers, just for the strength of, hey, we're going to uphold our contracts, because they had already agreed to a certain deal, because their current contract wasn't, I don't think it was going to be up until 2030, I believe.
I was about to say, they had a few years left. Like, it wasn't like, you know, this was a negotiation year.
Correct. So now, where I will play devil's advocate with TKO and say, hey, I understand y'all want to save money, y'all want to, you know, go ahead and renegotiate deals. Cool, no problem. You're a company, you're a business, you do that. But to take the aspect of having somebody who you've already agreed to a contract with, that contract should be legally binding, to then come back to them and say, hey, we want you to take, and it's not even just to say, hey, you want to take a pay cut, an egregious 50%.
50%. 50%.
So it's not even, at that point, it's not even about the money. It's about, yo, this is what you view me as far as my worth. I've done this much for this company. Go ahead.
And you know what's funny? Because what that last thing you just said, what I've done for this company, and I think what's starting to happen with TKO, because this is part of the reason why, you know, sitting with those feelings and hearing some of these particulars, I think TKO is 1000% operating on some "what have you done for me lately" type of mentality. And unfortunately, the New Day hasn't been on the forefront like that. The New Day hasn't been, you know, the quote unquote New Day of old. And I think that's the issue that's going to happen with TKO. TKO are going to start looking at contracts, and they're really going to start evaluating the "what have you done for me lately" situations. And unfortunately, these two gentlemen were the first victims of that.
Oh, and to piggyback off of that, because I'm glad that you said that too, because that's a whole bad faith, because there's no good that comes out of that. Because if you look at it from the general consensus, where everybody's like, hey, we thought these guys were going to be WWE for life, so especially now you get yeah, exactly. And so you get people, the new people that's coming in, and now it's going to be like, well, shit, if they can be let go, I'm new here. Even though I've been on TV lately, I know my shit's not secure. So, you know,
I'm on the chopping block already. Like, I'm on the chopping block before I even knew that one exists, if that's the case. But like that's my big summary of it all, is that TKO is going to be on some "what have you done for me lately," and that's why we was hearing these rumors of certain stars. So I can see them potentially going to Bailey's and being like, hey, you know, some of the people who we knew who were up here, but due to the fact that they haven't been in that level of prominence, and not because it's their fault or anything, but I can 100% see a bunch of talent that we knew who was putting on banger matches, and we knew who was at the top of the card, now being looked at like, but yeah, they cool and all, but what have they done for me lately? You know? Yeah. And I think that's what TKO is 1000% operating on. Now, there's also rumors that WWE wants to keep Woods on that Tyler Breeze type contract, where he come in and do stuff for the video game and everything. No.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
I'll be like, nah, big dog.
Absolutely not. because especially now, since I'm gonna say 98%. I'm 98% sure that they're going to AEW, and with AEW,
they about to get it popping over there.
Exactly, and with them already having their whole gaming sector, as far as like all the whole squad gaming online and streaming and stuff.
Hey, Tag Nation, just letting y'all know we did not do this on purpose.
Oh
he's
shit!
wearing Spider-Man and I'm wearing Venom. This was not done on purpose, Tag Nation. This was just literally pure coincidence because I just noticed his shirt. So, but my bad.
No, but yeah, man. So it's like. And this is part of the reason why I said I'm also hopeful outside of being annoyed, because I think this will be a rejuvenation of New Day. I mean, aside from, what was going on with WWE, but the fact that they get a new lease on life, you get a whole roster of teams that you get to help rejuvenate AEW's tag division with. And then on top of that, now it's even more hopeful because you have somebody who is serious. Pretty much the whole roster of AEW is all gamers, but to have somebody who is as serious about it as Woods when it comes to like G4 and everything like that. So ingrained,
getting up, down, popping.
Correct. So ingrained in the culture of just what gaming is, along with Kenny Omega, there is a chance that we may get a resurgence in AEW, potentially coming back with another AEW video game, maybe not Fight Forever, but something completely different that is of a higher scale.
And not only that, but the funny part to think that most of the people Woods got popping with up, down are actually over there in AEW.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because especially when I heard that about TKO being like, hey, well, we want to keep Woods to be on this contract for, it's like basically you want me to just scratch your back now because I'm doing good on the stream and stuff. You want me to do this for you, even though you're willing to just let me go and say this is my worth here. So I'm only worth this side enough for you, instead of me being somebody who could be potentially a credible star inside the ring. That's crazy.
Deuces. Like I'm out. Like y'all good. Y'all got it. But there was many heartfelt things said about Woods, especially about Kofi. I 1000% share that same sentiment. I will forever appreciate what these two gentlemen, along with Big E, has ever done for me personally. Like, I still get emotional and teary-eyed seeing Kofi Kingston win the championship in 2019. Like, what those three gentlemen have done for me, far as in a wrestling sense and being a black kid going into a black man and all of that, I could never hate these three gentlemen. So whatever Kofi and Woods, Creed, decide to do outside of wrestling, if they keep on wrestling, if they decide to do other things, I will try my best to be right there along the ride.
Yeah, come on down to Houston for next year's Nostalgia Con or Comic Palooza.
Wait, what you mean next year? The next Nostalgia Con is in October.
Oh yeah, come on,
in October. So
all right, there we go. Yeah,
in October.
Yeah. The sooner the better. The sooner
they could be
the
here
better.
in October. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like I just can't believe. And then what's making it worse, right? Is that not only were we hearing these things with TKO, then we're hearing these things with their contracts, which I'm gonna pass it to Dizzle about getting into the more contract thing. So go ahead, Mr. D-Slayer, about TKO and these contracts.
Okay, so this is the other part that was pissing me off because I just took everything as it being like, okay, WWE doing their annual releases. All right, no problem. It's more egregious with the New Day being released. All right, cool. We can get past that. But it wasn't until the information came out about these raises that happened, specifically with Mark Shapiro, Ari Emanuel, Nick Khan and I forgot the other guy's name, but it doesn't matter. He's irrelevant anyway. Because I think the other guy got the lowest amount. I think his increase was maybe like 10, 12 million. But
yeah,
Nick Khan, Mark Shapiro being the one with the most, and then Ari Emanuel at the very least had their increase from 2024 to 2025 an increase of at least $20 million. For what exactly? And usually I would not trip on somebody, getting an increase or whatever, because hey, again, it's business, is whatever. But the fact that you have these releases happen, which again, I was still like, all right, cool. I don't like it, whatever. But then you get the idea.
It happens yearly.
Exactly. But when you get into the whole, hey, we're trying to do contract negotiations and we want you to take a 50% cut. 50% cut of what? Y'all are getting an increase of let me see, just was it basically around 200 to 300%.
And and before you continue, I can see if like wrestlers like Tozawa was out here making like $2 million a year, then it'd be like, Tozawa, you ain't really doing nothing like that. But like if I'm making $125K a year, you want me to go down to 75? Like what? Like, you want me to go from 125 to 75 and then still work the same fucking schedule?
Exactly. And you know what? Now that you brought that up, it pisses me off even more now, because they say they wanted to cut for payroll, right? So you just had a Cena retire who you've had to pay him throughout the whole tenure of him being there for the last year. So you don't have to worry about paying that. That money goes where? You ain't got to pay him no more, except for like every appearance here and there, but you don't have to pay that full amount. AJ Styles just retired. So that's another salary that you have to lessen, because I'm pretty sure he's working backstage. He's not going to make the same as an in-ring performer at this point. On top of that, nobody knew that Brock Lesnar was going to retire. So that's a big chunk of money that you're saving right there. So if that's the case, now it just looks like greed, because we already know Brock is getting paid out the fucking ass. AJ,
Brock was getting 8 figures. So yeah.
So you can't tell me that you weren't saving money in some way, shape, or form, because that doesn't make mathematically and logistically, the shit doesn't make sense, especially if you're pricing tickets egregiously. If you're going through the links of making sure that you're getting money on the back end from all the fucking ads and the marketing that we complain about, the whole increase of the app for ESPN after you stop having people pay at the most $15 a month for Peacock and having that deal. So you're getting money hand over fist, and you're going to tell me that you need to have these guys take a 50% pay increase where the four board members are getting 100 to 300+% increases from one year to the next.
That just don't smell right. Like
it does not.
Like, and then not only that, but then to kind of, in essence, whether they're directly doing or indirectly doing it, still to kind of be a little smug about it too. At that, like to make it seem like it's justified for what y'all are doing. But then it's justified on the back end to be like, yeah, but these higher ups need to make this money too. And it's like, what are y'all doing though? Like,
that's crazy.
What are y'all doing? And it's like, and what would make it interesting to me, I can see that if WWE was at like this all-time high. Yeah, they may be at this all-time high of making money, but they're not at this all-time high of ratings. They're not in this all-time high of favorability of the company. Then I can see to where, okay, you know, people are just it's like you said, hand over fist. We're making so much money, we just don't know what to do with it. And now y'all talking about now potentially start using AI. Now you want to shortcut the production of things and all of this stuff, and it's like, where, kind of like what you just said. I mean, of course we know now, where is this money going? Because we can't help but to think it's going into your higher ups pockets, because WrestleMania was full of ads, your ring is full of ads, you have your wrestlers starring in ads, you just have ads on top of ads, so that has to be from something. And then now you're like, but we want to renegotiate some contract stuff.
Yeah.
But then you want to renegotiate contracts during contracts. Like, it's not like, hey, we're renegotiating contracts on a contract year. It's like, hey, insert name here. We know you got about 2 years left. How about you take a pay cut? Why?
Yeah.
Why am I taking this pay cut? Why am I going to make less but still give out the same output? Because, like, for instance, let's just throw out a Ludwig Kaiser. You still gonna want me to wrestle in AAA and Raw, but then take a pay cut? You know what I'm saying? Like, where that makes sense at? And then, of course, with them being private contractors, it ain't like they can go make money elsewhere.
True.
So it ain't like they can go out and, hey, go ahead and book me for this independent show right quick so I can make a couple of thousand or something. No, they have to do everything with the permission of WWE and TKO. So it's like, you want to pay me less, you want me to give you the same output, and there's no other way I could potentially make more money unless I suddenly become a main eventer, a superstar.
Correct.
Fuck TKO right now. like that is just wild. Like, that thinking, it all, like, if you really think about it, that is the craziest thing ever.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was Nick Khan or somebody else, but it was one of the higher ups where they were talking about the ads and the marketing and stuff, and they were like, we think the fans are going to come around. And just to be that arrogant to even say something like that, even when everybody complaining about the stuff, it's like they believe that they're going to be able to do what and it's in everybody's face. It's so blatant right now, to where it's like they think that they can just easily get in a way. They probably will get away with it. They probably will, unless AEW takes this. And I know it's on the eve. Well, I don't want to say on the eve. I know it's on the post of Ted Turner's untimely passing.
Yep.
Ted Turner, and I know we're going to get into it when we get into AEW, but this could not have been a bigger sign for competition to just rise up. And AEW right now has the biggest fucking layup and opportunity to stick it to WWE in the best fucking way.
They cannibalized their tag division. They got rid of superstars. AEW is in, like you said, not only are they handed such this layup, but they're handed such this amazing layup that Tony Khan will have to be the dumbest man alive to fumble it or to miss the layup in this case.
1000%.
Like, if he airballs this layup, or if he just, throw the ball up too hard and just bounce off the glass, and you'd be like, Tony, what are you doing? The amount of opportunity, the amount of the pole position that Tony Khan could be in is just amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what we could be talking about with AEW by the end of this year could actually be a monumental shift.
I was just thinking the same exact thing.
It could truly be a monumental shift, especially since if AEW, especially now we can get into this part. If AEW now starts to partner with content creators, from what TKO just started doing with content creators, that will start the shift right then and there.
With what? With the right content creators.
Yes, with the right content creators. And for those who don't know, WWE / TKO has been pretty much banning people's channels, pages, content if it's featuring pretty much any of their videos. Like I think if it's featuring more than like 11 seconds or something like that, they can pretty much ban your stuff. And then their workaround is, well, you can monetize it again, but you pretty much got to give us the profits kind of energy.
Yeah. More fucking greed.
Child, please.
And the crazy they're going to strike channels before they can even get monetized.
Yep, they're going to strike channels pretty much before they can get monetized. So now it's funny because like a few of them been saying they love to feature you in their clips, but don't you use their clips? Don't you?
And they ain't gonna pay you for it if they use your stuff.
Don't you do it? Don't you do it? It's like it. You know, it's like really. It really starts to feel like TKO is like purposely sabotaging WWE. Like,
yeah,
it feels like it. Like it feels like they're purposely trying to tank and just cannibalize and get rid of WWE on some I knew my plan would come around one day,
and then turn it into something egregious.
Like, I can't help but to feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, simple and plain, I cannot help but to feel that TKO is like purposely killing WWE for whatever reason, because that is 100% the way it's coming off.
And you know what's crazy is it's almost funny in a way, because the way that people used to make fun of professional wrestling back in the day, of how cheesy and all this other stuff it is, and Vince McMahon and company, as far as, and even Eric Bischoff, primarily Eric Bischoff, brought it into a realm where it was cool to be a wrestling fan, and then everything was kind of extrapolated and built upon that, and you get the stuff with New Japan where, you know, the Bullet Club and everything made it even more cool to be an independent wrestling fan.
Yep.
And it's like TKO is essentially reverting WWE back to that little cheesy niche thing where it's like, it's almost going to go right back to where it's being like, yo, you watch this shit? Like, what are you doing? Almost, because it almost seems like they're trying to purposely do it in order to widen the gap between a UFC and a WWE, to where it's like, hey, why would you want to watch this when you can come watch UFC? Because UFC has, it hasn't fully declined, but it has done a slight decline.
Child, I couldn't even tell you the last time I watched UFC. Just to put that out there.
Yeah, because everything has its ebbs and flows, but the one thing that's been a constant has been professional wrestling. Like, it has dipped a few times, but it hasn't dipped to the point to where it wasn't fun to watch. It's always been something where it's like, yeah, I have my issues here and there, but it's like, it's always been either this, but it's always stayed in the middle of this realm here. Maybe, and now it's getting to the point about WWE. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it would have been better off.
Like, my goodness. And you know what's like crazy though? Like, I think what's the scarier / sadder part? What's the morale have to be like right now?
Trash. Fucking trash.
Like,
I can only imagine.
Like, literally, Woods and Kofi are going? Like Woods and Kofi?
And you talk about
Like,
morale
what?
boosters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's that morale have to be looking like in that locker room right now? Like kind of like what you were saying in the beginning. I couldn't help but to think that shit, if they can be let go, I'm already on a chopping block.
Yeah.
And I just got here.
Now, here's my question, because I'm trying to, because they said there was one person that was up on the roster that actually accepted the 50% cut. I want to know who that person was.
Let's see.
Because I know it couldn't have been a champion. It couldn't have been it couldn't have been Cody. Couldn't have been a Roman. I don't even think it was Punk.
I think it was Randall.
You think so?
Randall or Charlotte? Randall or Charlotte?
Or Charlotte? Interesting.
It has to be somebody, because you said you got to think Randall, Charlotte, Drew.
We also got Miz.
And Miz are the only four that I can think of that would have been on New Day's level.
That's true.
Because looking at those four, or we can possibly throw in Bailey, because I did mention Bailey earlier. Because you got to think
Randy was there the longest.
Randy was there the longest. I'm thinking possible Randall. I'm thinking possibly Randall, because that's the only other name. Like I said, Randall or Charlotte, but I'm thinking possibly young Randall, as he was known on Up Up Down Down. That maybe he took the pay cut, and mainly because he's probably in a situation where he probably feels cush and comfortable. Possible. So maybe, I don't have to make 8 million. I can make 4. I don't know, but it has to be somebody in that caliber. It has to be.
Okay. That's interesting that you said that.
What's up?
Because he actually, so from 2025 to 2026, he went from 4 to 10 million.
See? So
it's possible that he could have easily gone back down to 4, because
or 5,
or 5. Because right now, and it might check out more, because you got, so Reigns is at 15 mil, Cody's at 10, Randy would be at 10 as well. So if he was to take a pay cut, he would be the one to take it, because Seth is at 9, Punk is at 8, McIntyre's at 8. Now Jey Uso is at 7. So is Owens. Owens is at 7 as well.
Could it be
Balor's
KO?
Now see, that's another one. It could be. Rhea's at 6. I don't think she would. Becky's at 6.
Rhea kind of earned that 6.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Rhea's been holding shit down, so she, and hell, we can even say at this point Becky earned that 6.
Yeah, Becky, Charlotte, and Rhea are all at 6, and Bianca is at 5. So,
or maybe even Bianca.
I would cross her out, because I don't think that they would do that, especially if she just announced her pregnancy. Yeah.
Possible Randall. Possibility of Randall.
Because Miz isn't even on that list.
That's crazy.
That is
boy,
crazy.
I don't know. Like,
I think
seriously,
you might be right.
are y'all having fun over there anymore? Like, that is, child. Like, they are literally, TKO is literally going to suck the life out of WWE, and it's not going to even be fun no more to even watch it. Like Like, I'm gonna be interested to see how Backlash go this weekend.
I keep forgetting that Backlash is even happening. That's the crazy part.
Especially since John Cena's supposed to make this so-called what was it? Life-altering announcement or something, some kind of announcement that he's supposed to be announcing. So yeah. And I was gonna put the match cards up for Backlash, but I was like, nah, they don't deserve the promos right now. So, you know. But before we move on to AEW, I do want to show that Evil's new name is Naraku. Now, for those anime watchers, you're familiar with Naraku from Inuyasha. But Naraku is his official name, and he will be debuting next week on NXT. So, yeah.
It's crazy. I wonder if that's the inspiration for that.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I don't think WWE is that creative, and they probably had to look at what Japanese name could we give him for Evil, and something like it, Naraku. So yeah, it 1000%. But let's move on to something way more positive, and you know, shine some light. AEW Dynamite, and it was Dynamite and 1 hour of Collision, and like Dizzle said, they opened the show with a very touching tribute to Ted Turner from Tony Schiavone and Sting. And man, like hearing the things, and you could hear the reverence and love that Schiavone definitely had for Ted Turner. And you can also hear the appreciation, you know, because even when Sting told that story, when he was like, "Oh nah, y'all wrestlers keep on doing what y'all doing. I got deep pockets.
Exactly.
I make sure y'all stay on the air. Y'all good. Don't worry about them. I got y'all." And
I'm gonna let you continue, Scoop, but just that point right there was probably, outside of everything else, probably for me was one of the most important things that was said, because it would put up a mirror to WWE and TKO to be like, hey, what you think is important isn't what is important to this situation here, because it's the same reason why a lot of people had a lot of brand loyalty to WCW. Somebody like a Sting, like a Booker T, because they cared about the performers. It's not to say that WWE didn't care about performers at a time here and there, but to just uphold that moral compass when it comes to even somebody like a Ted Turner, who would give pushback to higher ups in companies that wouldn't see the vision, and to be that buffer, because if you have the talent that's like, well shit, they don't believe in it, it's like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, hey, you know, keep doing what I got this. Do what you do. Even if they give pushback, I'm rich. Whatever we can't do, I'm gonna make sure that I can do. And that's to go to bat. And I think that's one thing that Tony Khan could embody. And which is why, for those who's watching, why we say that he has the perfect opportunity to do this, because one, he's already paying I mean, of course, at some point somebody's going to get lesser contracts, but he's paying fantastic contracts and amount of money for the talent that he has right now. He upholds the contracts that he's put in place, because he doesn't stop contracts. He actually allows them to go their distance,
ride it out.
And then it's like, you can, if he doesn't want you there, he'll say, okay, we're not going to renew your contract. But at least you've been able to uphold your whole contract. If you get hurt, he's taking care of you. You know, now granted, the outliers with Dragon Lee, Malachi, Rusev, stuff like that, but those are instances that are very few
and far between.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So it's like, but for the general consensus, the majority of what's going on, he's been pretty much good with. So, but yeah, I'll let you finish, Scoop. But
that was pretty. I mean, like I said, they gave a very touching tribute. Shivani was explaining how Tony Khan wanted to hold the essence of both the TNT and TBS championships while having the buildings on the side plates and everything. And I can even appreciate when Willow gave her a little when she was doing her promo, and she was like, I'm gonna uphold, with the Turner Broadcasting Systems, and be proud to be the TBS champion and this, that, and the third. And it was like, oh, they did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like they really did that. And like I said, I mean, rest in peace, Ted Turner. Absolutely. Because of WCW, there was an alternative to WWE. I mean, without that alternative, we wouldn't have gotten the cruiserweights. We wouldn't have gotten NWO. We wouldn't have gotten Wolfpack. We wouldn't have gotten Goldberg. We wouldn't have seen all of these people that we saw. And I know WCW is like a punching bag or is like a joke because, they think of like 2000 and this, that, and the third. But when WCW was kicking ass in them late 90s, they wasn't a joke. They wasn't a punchline. It was like, hey, this shit kind of better than WWF. You know what I'm saying? Like, WWF had to do the extreme by going to do the Attitude Era to keep up with what WCW was doing. So, bravo on that dedication to Ted Turner and everything, because it was, like I said, WCW was something to look at back in the day. Like, it wasn't all just, man, what am I watching here? No, it was like, oh, they cooking. Yes. And it was because Ted Turner, you know what I'm saying? So regardless of how you feel, Ted Turner was the reason why. Hell, I mean, because of Ted Turner, like they said, the reason why we got AEW on TV.
Yeah, and a lot of people won't understand, because I mean, granted, there's a lot of outlets for professional wrestling as far as like the indie scene, but when it comes to like the big boys, no pun intended, to WCW, but when you had the big boys play, when you had even in the early 90s, there was so much wrestling going on that you had just WWF and WCW alone, because you had WCW Saturday night, then of course, in turn, you ended up getting WWF Velocity. WWF had a had a Sunday morning show that they had for an hour, where you would get guys like Triple H and Shawn Michaels wrestling anybody at that point, and you would get them on those shows, which is crazy. I mean, it's just because they recorded the house shows, and I mean,
like because of WCW and the competition, like he said, that's what SmackDown came from. Because WCW had Thunder, so they had to create SmackDown. Like he said, WCW had I forgot what that Saturday show was, but because of that, like he was saying, they created Shotgun Saturday Night, which eventually ended and it became Velocity. Then they had to create Sunday Night Heat. Like, WCW was a problem. It was a problem.
So man, it's just, this is why competition is important. TK, please read the writing on the wall, man.
Do not fumble it. Please do not miss the wide open layup. Don't even go for the 3-pointer. Just do the layup. You don't have to dunk it. You don't have to dunk it. You don't have to do a fadeaway. You can literally just lay it up.
Just win the game.
Just win the game. Just win the game. That's literally all you have to do, TK, is just win the game. But moving on with Dynamite, we did have an eliminator match. Moxley took on Juice Robinson. It wasn't a bad match. They was making that notion of, Mox and Juice history and this, that, and the third. And, Mox came out on top for that elimination, for that eliminator. Then they kind of showed Will Ospreay, which it was kind of cool how they showed how everything was going down in Japan. And what's his name? Callum Newman was pretty much calling Ospreay a Death Rider, and Ospreay had to prove that he's United Empire. But they were showing more training that Ospreay is doing. So Dizzle, where you at in the car, big dog? Where you at in that car? Where you at in this Death Riders Ospreay car?
It's because of the entirety of the show. Where I've decided to just close it. My seatbelt ain't been put back on, but I closed the door so far. Just because I can kind of see the vision right now, and I was able to kind of do it retroactively as well, because then I was looking at it from a perspective. I was like, okay, I see what they're doing, because when he came back, and I believe it was you and Jaeger specifically, when he ended up having that return match on Dynamite, where y'all were like, you didn't have to have that match right now. Like, you could have just waited. You got to do all this. Yeah. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, they've been telling the story from the beginning, where it's like, okay, now Mox is looking at it like, okay, I'm gonna make you a killer again. So you trying to be angsty and come back like this. You can't just be doing that. So we about to fix that for you. And then to have the integration of Joe and the Ops vying for Ospreay's attention, I'm like, okay. We're back to the long term storytelling, and we're taking the wide shot here. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see where this goes. Now. So yeah, I've closed the door. I'm thinking about putting the seatbelt on. So we're gonna see.
How do you feel about that whole Joe trying to recruit Ospreay to the Ops and all of that?
It's out of left field, but I'm at the point where, because it's so out of left field, that I'm going to trust the process, because I feel like something's going to come out of it. Now, could I be wrong? 1000% yes. But I also trust Joe. So,
because you gotta trust Joe.
And I think with them adding Anthony Bowens to the mix, it also means that they're something's happening with AEW right now. I can't put my finger on it, but it seems like something is cooking.
To give y'all a visual representation, this is me in the car right now with this whole Death Riders thing. This is me in the car, just like, because I'm here. So this is a visual representation of me being in the car with this whole Death Riders, Ospreay, now the Op situation. This is me in the car. This, you know what I'm saying? This is a visual representation of me being in the car. But my bad.
That's pretty much it on that. I don't know what it is, but it feels like AEW is cooking, which is why I'm just like, hey, TK, just take the shot. You're doing something right now.
Just take this shot. Next up, we had that double Jeopardy match. Dax Harwood took on Orange Cassidy. If Dax won, then there would be a trios match for the championships. It would be FTR and Tommaso taking on the Conglomeration. But if I was about to call him what Aranya calls him. Aranya calls him Orange Juice. If Cassidy wins, then two members of the Conglomeration get a tag team title match. And I appreciate the idea that it almost turned into a lumberjack match, kind of. Like, the Conglomeration had their whole crew along with Cage and Cope. Dax had a whole crew, and it was like, okay. But it ended up being Cassidy getting the dub. So I was like, I am so intrigued with this tag team title scene, because it makes me wonder, will Cage and Cope get those belts? Or they're going to grant the Conglomeration the tag team title match before Double or Nothing?
I think it would happen before.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, because I think Christian's still hurt.
I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Roosh took on. No, wait, no. Roosh took on somebody in collision later on that night. But Jericho comes out and Ricochet and Ricochet, Toa, and Khan, the demand come out, and pretty much Jericho wants a match with Ricochet wants a match with Jericho, and he's like, I basically did your move better than you. I'm pretty much doing you better than you. Now I want to beat you in your own match. And somehow that turned into Stadium Stampede. And I was like, what? So now, for those who are unfamiliar with Stadium Stampede, it's a 5-on-5 match, and they usually fight in a stadium. It's usually in the Jacksonville Stadium.
The problem is that the shit just doesn't. One, it doesn't make sense, and then two, it just doesn't call for it. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense is primarily because of Jericho.
It doesn't make sense, and so the demand is like, okay, we gotta find two people to help us out. Ricochet was making fun because he was like, hey, Jericho, nobody's gonna have your back. So ha, good luck. So of course, Jericho starts fighting off the three. Hurt Syndicate comes out. So now we know it's at least the demand, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and Chris Jericho. And it's like, there's still 4 more people have to be added to this match.
Yeah.
And if y'all wondering why old Scoot looks so disheveled, because I've never been a fan of this match. I've never been a fan. Like, I can deal with anarchy in the arena. I could deal with blood and guts. I just never was the biggest fan of Stadium Stampede. And I'm going to tell y'all why.
Shit. No, because when you said Anarchy in the Arena, I was honestly, when you said Stadium Stampede, I literally was thinking about Anarchy in the Arena.
No, remember Stadium Stampede is when they fight throughout the whole stadium. Yeah, and the issue with Stadium Stampede is that they have to keep cutting to everybody like a damn movie or a TV show. It's not like they split the camera 5 different ways where you can see. Because remember that one Stadium Stampede, what was it? Hangman and somebody was having a drink, and then they start to fight after the drink, and I was like, okay.
Just overly produced.
Now, funny enough, when Ricochet said, I wanted to beat you in your own match, I thought he was talking about the Mimosa Mayhem. I honestly thought he was talking about that Mimosa Mayhem match. I honestly thought that. I was like, because I forgot Jericho started the Stadium Stampede. I thought he was talking about that Mimosa Mayhem or whatever it was called match. But I was like, okay.
Oh, shit. It was the Elite versus the Inner Circle.
That's what it was. Elite versus Inner Circle. That's what it was. Elite versus Inner Circle. And that's when Kenny Omega hit the One Wing Angel off the field goal area to secure the win. And I was like, okay, y'all got it. But yeah, so we're going to get a Stadium Stampede, folks. We're getting a Stadium Stampede. Mina Shirakawa riled up Harley Cameron, and that was like, oh, word? But, more on that later on. Okada took on Brian Keith in a international championship match. And from that, Okada pretty much has said, hey, to Darby Allin, I want that belt, big dog. Like, he's staking his claim since Darby Allin pretty much said, I'm defending this belt every week. I want that belt. So, fast forward some things, because we did talk about Joe wanting to recruit Ospreay. Sorry. Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander took on Mina Shirakawa and Harley Cameron in a tag team match. Mina and Harley was fighting their asses off.
Yeah.
They actually gave a pretty damn good tag team match against Stat and Sheeta, but Stat and Sheeta does get the dub, and it was like, I don't know. I kind of wish it would have went the other way around. You know, Swerve pretty much said, you know, he wants power. He still, you know, he still is the dangerous man. He wants power. And the thing was that I understand him saying he wants power, but he's not mentioning the championship, because he's mentioning wanting power as if Bandito has some type of power. And I'm not saying he doesn't, but technically the power Bandito does have is the ROH championship. And the way Swerve is talking about Bandito, he's talking about Bandito as if like he has a hidden infinity stone that we didn't know about. And Swerve needs to go ahead and get that up off of him. So I'm not necessarily saying I was confused by the promo and where that was going, but it was like, I'm assuming the power you want from Bandito is his championship or his mask, one of the two, you know, kind of energy. So, but I'm assuming at Double or Nothing we're going to get Swerve versus Bandito. I don't think they officially announced it, but I'm going to assume that's when it's going to go down.
Yeah, that's the way I was looking at it. I look at it as, now again, tinfoil hat. I'm looking at it as if this is a way to get more attention ROH, as if it's him basically getting the championship and basically him building ROH up on his back, and him having talking points being like, this is my company. Like I got the, like, I'm the one, I'm the man here. And then basically, because he has enough clout to be like, hey, I'm the one that made ROH what it is. And I'm only saying that with the tinfoil hat and the conspiracy theory and all this other shit.
I'm not mad at it.
If this is a way for Tony to, like, if this is his 4D chess move to basically say, hey, WWE, y'all slacking, I'm about to take this whole opportunity. I'm not only building AEW up, I'm about to build ROH up. And
I'm not mad at this.
So,
because at that point, and get ROH a TV deal at some point.
And then what happens here? You have enough. Now you have more opportunity for a lot more stars on your payroll, especially the ones that you're about to bring in, that you about to cherry pick from WWE.
It ain't even so much cherry picking. They gave it.
Yeah, you're right.
They literally went here. You know what I'm saying? Literally.
And you know what? If he does this, I'm not gonna be mad. I will take all the anger I had before, and I will say, you know what? Touche. If he's holding off on bringing Britt back to this second half, where he's just about to just start dropping bombs, where it's like New Day, Malachi, this person, that person. Oh, all you forgot? Oh, Mercedes is back. Britt Baker.
He has the opportunity. He has the opportunity to go crazy the second half of this year.
You talk about spamming finishers.
Crazy. Spam, right? Right? He's about to go crazy.
And that shit would easily eat up the impact that Punk made when he came into AEW. Like, if you talking about just say, I'm not even gonna give y'all time to breathe. I'm going to hit you wave after wave of just moment after moment. Because I think New Day, I think their shit's up like right before All In.
Yeah, I think, and I feel like I was telling somebody that I think it'll probably be before All In is when, you know, they'll probably be free agents. But even better. All In, whatever the New Day is going to decide to go by. Child, Tony, wide open layup, wide open. You don't have to do nothing fancy. You don't even got to take too many dribbles. Just dribble, layup.
That's
so all you gotta do is just bow. It's a wrap. And the main event of the Dynamite portion of the show was TNT champion Kevin Knight challenging AEW World Champion Darby Allin. And I thought that Continental Classic match was good. Shit. Them boys went out there, and this is a TV match. These boys went out there and did the damn thing. This was a TV match. And you know what's funny? I didn't know nothing about Kevin Knight until he was on the Forbidden Door stuff when you still with New Japan. And I was unfamiliar with your games, Mr. Knight. I've been a fan for a while. But I just do want to let you know I was unfamiliar with your game, and I apologize, Mr. Knight. I apologize. Because my goodness, I can see why the company is putting you in the position that they're putting you in. Because you go out there and do the damn thing, sir. You go out there and do the damn thing. You know, the Jet boy, that man is talented. But ultimately, Darby does get the dub. Sting comes out there and, you know, he pretty much, you know, showing love to Darby, showing love to Kevin Knight. And then we get MJF's music. And this kind of bleeds into the collision part of the night. And Darby was like, I told you I wanted something from you. And MJF was like, fine, my scarf. It's expensive. Darby, nah. Okay, fine. My Dynamite diamond ring. Darby was like, nah. Okay, $1 million. Who wouldn't want $1 million? And Darby was like, fam, I used to be homeless. I don't care about your money. He was like, what I care about is what you flew to Turkey to do because you pretty much a vain son of a bitch. I want your hair. And then he said, come Dynamite, sign the contract, Max title versus hair, and then I'll see you at Double or Nothing. And Max was like, he just dipped. He was like, he just dipped. Then Okada comes out, and Okada pretty much staked his claim that, hey, next week we're going to get Okada and Darby Allin. And then we get a segment where Pac was backstage, and he pretty much was like, hey, Darby, you know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, you know, it's 2-1 with me up on you, and I know if you can be champion, then I know I can for sure be champion because I know I can beat you. And then Tony Khan announced this Saturday on Stairway to Hell, Darby's going to defend the belt against Pac. So it's like, shit. It's like, shit. So Darby is going to be a very, very busy man. Very, very busy man. Speedball took on AR Fox. Speedball gets that dub. We mentioned Willow Nightingale, pretty much, you know, the legacy of the TBS championship. Jamie Hayter defeated Sky Blue, and just like Jamie Hayter may circle back around to wanting the AEW Women's Championship. Roosh took on Maddie Lowe. That was like nothing. They also announced that Jungle Jack is going to take on Mark Davis at Stairway to Hell. And I'm not mad at the Jurassic Express vignettes because at least it's that fun in wrestling that used to be. Though how I feel the way I feel about Jack Perry. I'm not mad at the vignettes in the segments. I'm not mad at Jack Perry and Luchasaurus on a road trip. And that's about the nicest that's gonna get.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just I think it worked better when AEW was running on all cylinders, and they're trying to work their way back to it. But it's like to have that and then to have the other stuff kind of lacking, it does come off as a bit cheesy. And I think that's the issue. But with everything, especially with the stuff with Darby, where they're making that shit work, that's the type of energy I need, because the situation with Darby being champion technically shouldn't work with the landscape of the roster that they have. But the fact that they're taking the situation where he got the backlash for the match with MJF, which I'm still like, I hate that it went that way. However, the way that they've pivoted with this, and to make the shit make sense, where even though he's not saying it, it's almost like he's doing these whole defenses to prove himself that, hey, I can be a champion. It flows flawlessly with this. So I'm like, because you won't necessarily be 100% mad if MJF regains at Double or Nothing, because since Darby did what he did, he let us know that, like you said, I can still be champion. I took on Brody King. I took on Kevin Knight. I took on Okada. I took on Pac. I took on oh my God, who was the first person? Thank you, Ciampa. So it's like, I took on some of the best AEW has at the moment. So even if you do get this belt up off me, MJF, I can prove that I can still be a fighting champion. Yeah. You know, so yes, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Then there was a 10-man tag to end the show. It was the Bucks of Youth and the Bang Bang Gang taking on the Death Riders and the Dogs. And they got to do something better with the Dogs. Oh, like, yes. You can't bring these gentlemen. Like, I understand Gabe Kidd is injured. Yeah. And once again, the nicknames that the Dogs have is amazing. War Ready, Gabe Kidd, 100 Proof Clark Connors. What? Like, the nicknames of these gentlemen are amazing, but you can't have these gentlemen being quote unquote dogs, but then they keep fucking losing. Yeah. Like, what does that make sense? But yeah, you know, boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. But yeah, so pretty much that was Dynamite and Collision. Saturday, they do have a 1 hour special of Fairway to Hell. Also, is going to be kind of in conjunction. Oh, so I guess this is going to be their new thing that WWE is going to do, because they're doing the same thing with Backlash. They pretty much said that the second hour of the pre-show is going to be on ESPN2, and the first hour is going to be on ESPN2. So I guess that's going to be their new tactic. That pay-per-views going forward, they're going to start airing some of it on ESPN2, because they even when they was running through the card, they even mentioned the 2 matches for sure that was going to be within that first hour. Hold on, let me see if while we talking about it. So pretty much they said that, I feel like it was the Trick Willie and Sami Zayn, and I think Rollins and Breaker, but they had announced which matches were going to be on the pretty much the ESPN side of things, and it's like, I guess this is going to be their thing now. So yeah. So with that being said, Dizzle, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about them doing this whole first hour going to be on ESPN or ESPN2, and then, you know, you got to switch to the, you know, the show to switch to ESPN app to finish watching? I mean, that's just them inflating viewership, which, I mean, it's annoying because of everything that's happening with them, because it's egregious at this point. It's because it's stuff that shouldn't need to be. It's like extra steps for no reason. It's like, hey, just make it easy, put it on this thing, have people watch it, bam, that's it. Don't have me go through 7 different doors just to watch one show. It's like, you definitely don't do that shit with UFC. No, now, well, you know what? Let me not say that fully, because, well, no. I can say that, because what they do is they allow you to see like the early matches before the main card. They see the pre-card matches on free ESPN TV, no problem. But at the same time, if you happen to have the app, you can still watch the pre-card matches on the same fucking thing. So I'd understand.
You're not really winning.
No, you're not at all. And even for something like this, for any of the big four, I would understand this. But it's like, this is a 5-match card.
Yep.
So what you?
I'm not gonna put the graphics up, but you got Roman Reigns defending his championship against Jacob Fatu, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, Trick Willie defending against Sami Zayn, Danhausen and the mystery tag partners taking on The Miz and Kit Wilson, and you're gonna have Io Sky versus Asuka. Those are your matches for Backlash.
And nothing against the performers or the card itself, but it's like this, like, it's a lackluster card on paper, to be perfectly honest.
It kind of is.
So
it definitely feels like, oh shit, we got to put something together since this is the first PLE after Mania, so we have to kind of do something.
Yeah, and not even that. It's a that too, but even after the fact of after all this negative stuff that's just happened, you're gonna put up a lackluster card. It's like it's not gonna take the bad taste out of anybody's mouth. And a John Cena announcement isn't really gonna do anything because it's basically just you rehashing what you did at Mania by bringing John Cena in, where it's like he's supposed to be retired. Mania makes sense because it's a big thing. Have him host, cool. But it's like now it just feels like you're bringing in Cena just to bring in Cena after his retirement. It's like, like I get he's not in the ring anymore, but it's like you're not making us feel his retirement at all.
No,
I feel AJ's retirement. I can tell AJ's retired. That motherfucker ain't been nowhere near WWE outside of
the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
That was it. Other than the Hall of Fame.
And then even and Lesnar, we ain't seen fucking Lesnar at all.
Heard from him or nothing.
So I mean, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Yeah. But there was one other thing because you mentioned one of the wrestlers. Who was it? Actually, I don't even remember. WWE? I ain't gonna even worry about it. It was somebody you said that I wanted to bring up about them too, but yeah, I didn't kind of forget it. But yeah, like I said, I really don't have the highest of hopes with Backlash other than it's a PLE. You know what I'm saying? It's something to watch, and it's coming on early enough in the day to where it's like, okay, cool. It's coming like 5 o'clock. So, yeah.
You set it and forget it.
Pretty much. And the Get It Off Your Chest segment, do you have any other Get It Off Your Chest other than what we talked about with TKO?
Nah, I think that really holds precedence over everything at this point because of just how egregious it is. I just honestly, I'll say this. I kind of hope WWE goes under. I hope that they actually get the slap in the face that they deserve in this instance. Like I hope that the fans actually take heed to this and actually do vote with their wallets and their attention.
Especially with the wallets.
Yeah. I think it's good. It would be beneficial for us as fans to stick it to TKO specifically, for even them being like, hey, we know you're going to come around on this, because it's like, because I don't want to give them the ability to even believe that they can just have that high of an ego to be like, hey, we're going to put this out. You're going to hate it, but we're going to make sure that you love it in the end, because we're going to keep giving it to you until you submit to the situation. I don't like that. Not only that, too, while we're doing some bullshit in the background of that. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like it. And normally with me, like I kind of just say, hey, whatever it is, cool, hey, shit happens. And I'm normally like that because then that's what me and Jaeger kind of go back and forth on. But this is one of the situations where it's like you get corporate greed into a mix, and I'm like, this is the line where you cross, and now you got me kind of disgusted on the situation because that's just the contract shit. The higher ups getting outrageous payment increases when you're trying to give people egregious payment decreases. It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful, and it really lets you see how they truly feel about the people that have helped build this company that they've decided to put billions into purchasing. So I don't like it, and I don't like to support something like that because of just it takes away from what we grew up on watching professional wrestling, because it was more about the art of professional wrestling and how they cater to the fans. And it's not to say that you should always cater to the fans, but what they did, and I don't want to be super nostalgic about it, but it's like what happened in the 90s was an amalgamation of what the people that loved professional wrestling was and what the people that performed in professional wrestling was. It melded together into perfect harmony where you had any and everything ECW, WCW, WWF at the time, where it's like they were rolling on all fucking cylinders. And that's just that's the water cooler conversations every time. Like people were talking about professional wrestling the same way that they would talk about must-see TV, like, Friends, Family Matters, Fresh Prince, stuff like that.
You couldn't be in school and miss Raw.
Correct.
Because then all your friends is talking about what happened on Raw or what Stone Cold did or what did, and you're like, no, I missed it. Yeah. So you are correct. You are absolutely correct.
Nobody was too cool for professional wrestling.
Nobody. So, you are correct. Nobody was too cool for wrestling unless you was just a hater. And by all means, you can be a hater. It's gone that way, hater. You
may have some people that didn't watch The Simpsons, people that didn't watch Friends, some people that didn't watch Fresh Prince. A lot of people watch Fresh Prince. A lot of people didn't watch Martin or stuff like that. Like, whatever. You had everybody understood what was going on in professional wrestling. You just could not get away from it. Even girls that probably didn't watch professional wrestling like that, they knew what certain things meant. They knew what a suck it meant. They knew what too sweet was. They knew what do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Yes. Because that shit was everywhere.
Everywhere. But yeah, I'm just, I just don't like what TKO is doing. Like this is probably the worst, that any partnership could
easily.
So,
without even like fully thinking about it, easily the worst.
And I would just hope that fans, just casual fans, hardcore fans, content creators alike, will just IWC as a whole just come together and just put your attention and your money elsewhere. Put it on AEW, put it on TNA, put it on Lucha Underground, put it on New Japan, put it on somewhere other than WWE. Please. I'll do my part.
I mean, he's not wrong, especially they're gonna be doing y'all this way.
Yeah,
because y'all are the ones, the people who do the reactions and the things like that. Y'all are the ones that are making the company relevant to stuff like that. And for them to just be like, oh, now we can just ban your shit so easily like that. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. And with that being said, y'all, this week of TMI is pretty much over and done with, sorry it had to be such a quote unquote downer, especially when we was talking about the WWE side of things. But hey, unfortunately we talk about the good, bad, and ugly, and that was ugly.
That's true.
It was ugly.
That's true. Hopefully next week is better with
Hopefully
information.
next week is better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this switcheroo right here, and I'm gonna just pass the ball with the wide open layup to Lip Dizzle so he could do that thing that he do oh so well.
Yes, of course. So everybody watching, of course, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below. Make sure that you tag that subscribe button, tag the like button, tag notification bell so that way you get updated and notified on any and everything that we do drop. Make sure you check out Leo's channel. Make sure you check out Juggs' channel. Just to give them some love whenever you can. And of course, let me just go ahead and warm up Too Sweet for the bro. The best friend of me, of course, the Venom to my Spider-Man, the Eddie Brock to my Peter Parker with a good old bada bam. And of course, until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, we bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh, click, out.
Dollars make a way to make a change. Gotta be insane to make them same mistakes again. So